What's going on, Trejo? Back in the building with something a little different today. That's Super Mario World. But it ain't about the games today. I wanted to change things up a little bit, and I wanted to give you a little insight in Mr. Trejo's life. I'm gonna tell you guys some of my top, I think I'm gonna keep it minimalistic, top 5 Disney movies of all time that Mr. Trejo likes. Hey, this is just what Trejo likes. You don't have, I don't want to hear the comments say, oh, those movies are trash. Hey, I have reasons behind why I like these movies. So, wanted to play a little something while I'm talking to y'all today. So, just sit back. We've talked about it before. Buckle it up, strap it up, whatever you want to do. Let's jump right into here. I've already started a little file here, so let's just keep it going. So, we just got the P switch, aka the yellow switch, if you've never played Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. So, besides that, so we're gonna go from like 5 to 1. Alright, 5 being like the lowest of on my list, and 1 being like just, that was my movie. But we're just, like I said, strictly Disney movies. We ain't doing nothing else. Disney. So, starting off, number 1, got my list over here. It was a tough one, because I really didn't know what I was going to do, but it's probably going to have to be Aladdin, okay? And I know some of y'all new school kids you talking about Aladdin with Will Smith? No, we ain't talking about that Aladdin. We can't even, which Will Smith did a good job being the genie, but Robin Williams all day being the genie. Alright, so let me give you the reasons why I really like that Aladdin and why Aladdin is number 5 on my list. Hey, growing up, watching that movie, the genie was the man. I remember when I was growing up, I would like always try to, do the genie voice where, excuse me, you woke me up, you rubbed my lamp, and now you walking out? Dude, that was I'm telling you. And I could relate to Aladdin, man, because I felt bad for him. They called him a street rat and all that stuff, and he was just trying to hustle. He was trying to find a way to live. And then he got Jasmine, and all he wanted to do was get Jasmine because he fell in love with Jasmine. I think I would hope by now you've seen Aladdin. If you haven't, I'm sorry if I'm spoiling the movie for you. And Jafar has to be one of the top villains, out of all the Disney movies, I would say, like, he's one of the top ones. Besides Scar being like the top of the top. Jafar's he's pretty gangster. I'm not gonna lie. Jafar was a very good, I don't really know, like, the correct terms. Like, your protagonist, antagonist. I don't know what that is. So I'm just gonna call him the bad dude. So Jafar was a bad dude. And he had his little parrot, Iago, which, we gonna die. It is what it is. So yeah, Aladdin for sure would have to be number 5, just because it was a very iconic movie. The soundtrack was off the chain, like that song that they sing, the genie sings with Aladdin, and they go crazy right there when they get caught in the cave of, what is that thing called? The cave of something, where they can find the magic lamp. That song, you can't even get that thing on Spotify. And plus, because I was a big Robin Williams fan. Robin Williams was he was on a whole nother level of comedy. Made some good movies, he really did. And I know he's no longer with us, but rest in peace, my friend. That was an iconic movie in my book. So that's the reason why I had to put it number 5. Abu, Aladdin, all the characters, top shelf. The animation, top shelf. It was good. It was just an overall good movie. Moving on to number 4. I had to go Lion King, man. I can't wait to be king. Even though it has the number 1 villain, Scar. Dude, that movie, if you watch that movie, and once again, I ain't talking about the live action. I ain't talking about the live action, because that was not what I really enjoyed watching. To be honest, it really wasn't that good. But nah, man, I was like 6 years old and I watched that movie. I'm talking tears. Tears. When Mufasa died, man, that was rough. But at an early age, man, that showed me, hey, there's a lot of evil out there. And Scar, he was trying to be king by any means. I've talked about it before. By any means, he was trying to be king. And if that meant killing his brother, that's what he did. And I'm telling you, it was rough. It was rough. And I loved Mufasa because Mufasa was trying to teach his son good morals and, passing on a generation. And I'm telling you, the soundtrack, they had all those people singing in that song. I mean, I felt it in my soul. I mean, gave me goosebumps. That, it's a way. I can't even do it. But when that thing popped off, you knew that movie was about to be just the littest thing you've ever seen. And, I mean, Mufasa, just his voice, Simba. I mean, that, you knew when he said Simba, you knew he was in trouble. When he got in trouble with them hyenas, and that whole Scar, Be Prepared song. I mean, overall, if you haven't seen Lion King, you need to watch it, because that is a great movie. Overall, everything about it is good. Timon and Pumbaa, it's not really my favorite characters in that movie, but it is what it is. But you really need to check it out. And Rafiki, homeboy keeping Simba on his toes. Yes, he was. And that part, that slow motion part when Simba's running back to go to the Pride Lands, you just need to see it. You need to see it. It's a great movie. So, number 5, we got Aladdin. Number 4, Lion King. Man. Number 3. It'd have to be the Toy Story series. And I'm talking, and if I had to rate them, it would be Toy Story. The first one would be like the top of the list. Toy Story 4. Let's see. The one with Forky, that'd probably it would go Toy Story 3, then 2, then 4, then 2. 2 at the bottom. I didn't like number 2. A lot of people love number 2. I hated number 2. I mean, it was a good concept. I mean, they were trying to, Woody's round. Come on, what a guy. You know what I'm talking about. But he had, they introduced the new characters, Jesse and Bullseye. I don't know what that. Which were good characters, but I just didn't like it. It wasn't my cup of tea. The first Toy Story, when I learned about Woody, and I know it was a trend, I mean, and I know it ain't no more, but everybody in school was trying to get a Buzz Lightyear and a Woody. I mean, that's what we did. I mean, if you had a Buzz Lightyear, and your Buzz Lightyear said, Buzz Lightyear to the rescue, you were like one of the cool kids. So that was, I know people had the Pokemon cards too, but people still play with toys. I mean, I was playing with toys. So I always tried. I never got a chance because my dad wasn't about that life, getting me dolls and stuff. But if I could have got a Buzz Lightyear, man, I'd have been real happy. But Woody was a sheriff, man. I really like sheriffs. I mean, I really like Woody because he was, I don't know, he had good dignity. He always tried to do the right thing. Except in the first movie because he tried to get rid of Buzz. But he was just jealous, man. He got jealous because, Andy was his boy and Spot got moved. And Buzz was just a really cool toy. And, like anything, I mean, let's be real. If you talk about, let's think back. If whatever you got for Christmas a couple years ago, do you still play with it? Probably not. It's probably sitting somewhere and you've never touched it again. That's what Woody felt like. And I felt really bad for him. And, I mean, it's just a really good movie. It was something completely different. Pixar coming in, doing the animation. I mean, it was good. It was a good movie. I mean, I liked every bit of it. The third one, when Andy goes to college, tears, my friend. Tears. I mean, that was like super sad because Woody was going to go with his boy off to college. He sacrificed himself because he wanted to stay with his family. I'm telling you. I know you guys just watch the movies, but your boy Trejo be really listening. He's listening to these movies. Because you know what? It don't matter. It don't matter if you got a grandma, if you raised by your grandpa, your uncle, your aunt, anybody. Yo, or if they're not even blood related, they still can be your family. And I'm telling you, that's what Woody found out. He's like, yo, these toys are my family, and they're gonna be with me from the day I get broken. So he stayed with his family. I mean, he stayed with them toys. And I mean, and then Andy, because Woody did that gangster stuff, he wrote that note to give it to, who was it? Her name Molly? Molly? Nah, her name wasn't Molly. Was it Molly? The little girl in Toy Story 3? Don't remember her name. Shame on me. Yo, he wrote the little note to go give it to her. I mean, that was, Woody sacrificed. And then Andy made the sacrifice to give his toys away, which was his, all time. And you saw him get choked up when he was giving away Woody. I mean, it was just sad. So, I know we getting a little sentimental on it, but that's a really good movie. So, and then the one with Forky, I mean, it was funny. It was very funny. The saddest part in that movie is when Woody decides to leave his family. I mean, he left his family to stay with his love, which is Bo Peep. So, all four of those, good movies. Moving on to number two. Number two. This one's got right here, touches the heart, man. The Fox and the Hound. If you haven't seen The Fox and the Hound, you are not living. Because The Fox and the Hound teaches you about friendship. All right, so let me break it down for you because I don't think you really understand. So, the fox, all right, was apparently getting hunted. His mother was getting hunted, and she had the baby, which name was Todd. Todd was the fox. And so she had to hurry up and get rid of the baby. So she left the baby at a fence post, and there was these two birds and an owl named Big Mama. And they made it to where this lady got a hold of the fox and raised the fox to love it, and basically it was her pet. And then at the same time, there was this hunter that had a dog named Chief, and then he got this little baby dog named Copper. He was a hound dog, and Copper smell all day. I mean, he knew. And Todd and Copper, man, became friends. And even though it was wrong because the hunter was trying to train Copper to hunt. And what do they hunt? He hunts foxes. And so, but I mean, Todd, the best scene. So Todd's going through the forest, Copper's sniffing. Man, he finds Todd and he goes, boo! And Todd's like, well, why you do that for? And he says, I don't know. He said, that's all we do. We find what we are tracking. And I don't know why I just like that part. And then they start playing and they become best friends and they go swimming and all this stuff. And it's really sad. And there's multiple reasons why it's sad. Because Todd starts growing up and she's worried because she's afraid that Todd's going to get killed by the neighbor who's the hunter. So she goes and drops him off in the woods, and Todd's worried because Todd thinks he doesn't know that he's getting dropped off. And that's sad. And it was sad for both of them. She's crying and Todd doesn't even know what's going on. And I just feel bad because, I don't know. I mean, I recently got a dog, and if anything happened to my dog, I would be extremely sad. And I would think most of you guys that have pets and are pet owners, dude, your pet is like your best friend. And for her, that was Todd. And so it was really emotional. It was emotional for me. And it was emotional for me because, Todd now doesn't have the lady, and now he doesn't have Copper, because Copper's doing his own thing. He's hunting animals and doing all kinds of stuff. I don't don't know. It's a sad movie. And at the end of the movie, because Todd and Copper don't get along, I'm sorry if I'm stuttering a little bit. I don't remember how to beat this level. It's telling me to go here, but I don't even know. I've already been here like 3 times. All right, hold up. Give me a second. I'm sorry. I think I'm supposed to take this with me. Okay, here we go. All right, so Todd and Copper don't get along because halfway through the movie, Todd, something happens, he's off. Copper gives him a break and lets him go because he's hunting him. But there's another hunting dog, Chief, who was the older dog. He gets his leg broken because he gets thrown off this railroad track thing. So ever since then, Copper told him, he says, if I ever get you, Todd, I'll get you for this or something like this. And so ever since then, they never talked and never spoke again. So he lost his friendship, lost his friend. And that was hard. That was hard for Todd because Todd was all alone. He's in the forest. He had to learn how to be a fox. But at the end of the movie, the hunter was going to kill Todd. And you know who stepped in the way? My main man, Copper. And that's what I'm telling you guys. Hey, you might have a friend and you might have grown up together and all this stuff. And you might not hear from them for a long time. Or something bad might happen. But at the end of the day, y'all still friends. I'm telling you that. That's coming from here. Be kind to people, man. I'm telling you, that teaches you about friendship. I like that movie. That movie's good. That's number 2 for sure. And number 1, and the only reason it's number 1 is because this movie I watched religiously as a kid, and that's Pinocchio. And dude, I don't know why it was one of my favorite movies, and maybe it's just my favorite movie because I watched it so many times. But I'm telling you, it was a little iffy because I really thought if I did bad things growing up as a kid, I thought I was going to get turned into a wooden boy. And as frightening as it was, I was like, yo, I don't want to get turned into a wooden boy. But on another note, there's a lot of funny things. I mean, you had Geppetto, who was this puppet maker, and he made Pinocchio, and I just died. And I felt bad for him because, I mean, he was all alone. He had his cat named Figaro, and he had this goldfish named Cleo, and all he wanted was Pinocchio to be a real boy. And that's kind of sad because, I don't know, you don't know what kind of problems he had, or depression, or being alone. You don't know. There's no backstory about his wife, so I don't know. But you feel for him. So Pinocchio turns, the fairy godmother, she comes and turns Pinocchio. He's not a real boy because he has to prove to himself, but he does become alive. And basically through the movie, he's got this little cricket that's his conscience. And if you don't know what your conscience is, it's that little thing that tells you from right and wrong. And if you don't know, just pause the video and give a little whistle, because apparently that's how you get your conscience. So, if you don't know what that is, that's what you need to do. So Jiminy Cricket basically showed Pinocchio how to be, basically, the morals of life. Being nice to people, being kind, don't lie, be respectful. And so, Disney does a lot of this stuff. So I think it's more directed towards kids. But I like Pinocchio. Pinocchio was a good movie. He did stumble. He got captured. He thought he was gonna make it big by becoming he's joined a puppet show with Stromboli, who was this mean dude. But Stromboli was off the chain. I mean, he had the puppets and all that stuff. I know I'm rambling about it. So long story short, Pinocchio tries to learn everything. He gets captured again. He goes to this place where stupid little boys go to, as the guy would say in the movie. And he gets all crazy, gets turned into a donkey because he's drinking beer and smoking cigars, which once again frightened me. And I was like, oh, heck no, I ain't ever doing that. I was like, I'll turn into a donkey. So, hey, don't do that stuff. You'll turn into a donkey like Pinocchio. Better watch yourself. And so then he gets back home and he gets a letter from the fairy godmother that his grandfather, Geppetto, who looked for Pinocchio and was looking all over the place, got eaten by a whale. And the whale named Monstro. And so, scary stuff, I'm telling you. So, Pinocchio being the brave boy he was, because you know what? He had that heart. He might have been made out of wood, but he had that heart. And he went looking for his grandpa, and went up in the ocean, swam with the fishes, which made no sense because I don't know how he breathed, but I guess he's made out of wood, so does it really make any sense? No, but the cricket somehow survived. He did stay in the bubble. He had a bubble. Makes sense. But they get swallowed up by the whale, find Geppetto. Geppetto's alive somehow in this whale, and basically they make a fire, make a bunch of smoke, piss off the whale named Monstro. He sneezes, blows them out because they make a raft, and he makes it off the shore. He saved his grandfather because his grandfather, I think, passed out or something like that, and he swam, and Pinocchio sacrificed his life for his grandfather. And so basically, once again, fairy godmother comes and makes him a real boy because he showed something, and basically gave him the chance to be a real boy. So, and it made me really happy. It made me really happy because I saw the trials and tribulations that Pinocchio had to go through. And you know what? It's like anything, growing up and learning, man. You do things and sometimes they don't work out, but you try to learn from them. And he might have did a lot of bad things and being new and all that stuff, but it was one of my top movies. I mean, I watched that probably once a week. And back then when they, all you guys stream your stuff now, but we had a VCR. And I probably wore that tape out, man. But that was my movie. So that was, like I said, might not have been one of the best plots of the movie that was on the list, but it just has a good part in my heart, man. I mean, I remember watching that with my dad, so it's a good movie. Very good movie. So that's my top 5. Honorable mentions, I would probably put Robin Hood up there, and that's just because that movie makes me laugh. But that's a good movie too. But like I said, I want to do something a little different. I'm about to beat this guy. Never mind, maybe not. But I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of kind of what my top Disney movies that I enjoyed watching and reasoning behind them. I might come up with some more things, maybe like top video games that I played, top anime shows I like to watch, top shows in general, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. I didn't have the Disney Channel because we didn't have that money. But yeah, I'll be coming at you with some stuff. Hey, if you don't mind, 1 through 5, 1 being the best, 5 being the lowest. Tell me what your top 5 Disney movies are. Hey, so I can look at it and you never know, I might make another video and just read the comments out and just tell you guys how I feel, and I'll tell you my ups and downs about the movies you picked. But I appreciate you listening. I know, like I said, I was all over the place trying to give you the ideas of why I feel it. But at the end of the day, man, it's just how I felt about the movies and why I put them in the places I put them in. There were some memorable moments in those movies that stood out to me, and they just kind of stuck with me. So that's why they're my top 5. But I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you watching me play a little bit of Mario. Wasn't, like I said, really wasn't about the gaming. I just wanted to give you something to watch while I was doing it. But thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, drop a like if you haven't, subscribe if you haven't, and drop that list down below. And until next time, peace out. Keep being you. Be that Todd to somebody's Copper. You know what I'm saying? Friend somebody. Peace.